OJ Simpson, for better or worse, was a controversial figure. From that Bronco chase through his trial, Americans were glued to their TVs. Eyewitness News was there for all of it. Here's a look at what our coverage looked like the night the verdict came in.
OJ Simpson is back home tonight after 474 days behind bars. 12 jurors said he was not guilty of 2 murders. And so ended a human drama that has gripped us in a very big part of the world now for 16 months.
Emotion seemed frozen for just a split second after the verdict was revealed. Almost everyone appeared stunned. Then reactions poured out swiftly. Tears, joy, relief, and bitterness.
We want to bring in Eyewitness News anchor Bill Ritter into this conversation. Bill covered OJ's trial in 1994 and 1995.
And Bill, we were talking beforehand. You flew back and forth from New York to L.A. to cover this for ABC. Where were you the night of that verdict?
The night of the verdict?
Yeah.
I was in Los Angeles when he was acquitted. We were at a diner, and we decided to watch it there. I worked for GMA mostly at that time. I went out the day after he murdered his ex-wife and her friend. He was acquitted, but I think most experts would say that. We can talk about that in a second, because there was a reason why he was acquitted. But we watched, and there was shock, both among blacks and whites in this diner. We were in South Central Los Angeles, and it was, really an amazing thing. And it had been the culmination of 16 months going back and forth. I said to GMA, I said, they sent me that day, the day after the murders, and I said, I just moved here a year and a half ago, and I was working for GMA, and I said, let me come back every weekend, and that was my life for 16 months, and it was the nation's. It was so focused. A lot of people, the young people now don't remember this, but that was the focus. This guy was an idol, a star, a great person, and this is what happened.
Yeah. One of the things was I also flew out. I was in Atlanta at the time and flew out right before the verdict. So I was in town that day when the verdict came down, sent out to specifically cover it, because there were fears that there might be some sort of violence after the verdict if it didn't go a certain way. And the thing about the trial now, you talk about he was acquitted, but there was a lot of conversation in this city before and after in this country before and after the verdict about the justice system itself, about the role of race in the trial.
Question.
Those were things that this trial exposed in this country, and conversations we really started to have.
And you live in Los Angeles, so you know the history of this. This was especially true in Los Angeles. You think about the Watts riots from the 60s.
Coming off of Rodney King.
Cutting off of Rodney King. Rodney King, the guy who was pulled over by police in 1991 or 1990, late 1990, and all of a sudden the cops are beating him up, and someone up in an apartment is taking video of it. Who ever thought of that? Video. And it changed everything. And those cops were found not guilty. And so this was really a nullification of the Los Angeles Police Department. Their relationship with especially black men was horrible for so many years. So it would take a celebrity to do this and to actually move this forward and have everyone have part of that conversation. But most experts would say, you got the wrong guy to pick as an idol, because in fact all the evidence showed that he had unlike a lot of other black people, they don't have any money. He had a lot of money. He had an incredible legal team. Incredible, and that made a big difference.
Changed the careers of Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian, and when you look at OJ Simpson himself, I think a lot of people are going to remember that he was found guilty civilly.
No question.
Found responsible in the civil trial just 2 years later.
Just go talk. I know you're in a hurry. I want to say one thing, though. People are going to forget this about OJ Simpson, right? He's an old guy now. He's got prostate cancer. He died of it, which is, it's attacking black men especially very hard. That's not talked about a lot. Maybe we'll do that now. But my youngest daughter, Ella, 14 years old, when she was 13, she's looking on the internet and she sees me interviewing Bruce Jenner and Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner was the wife's, Nicole, best friend. And she says like this. She says, Dad, you know Kylie Jenner, her mom?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but she was a big star too then. This generation is not going to remember that. So that we're doing that you're doing this right now, we're doing it, is a very important thing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Bill.
for the extra time. I know you were getting...
No problem at all. Now, Nicole Brown